What these people found buried in their backyard is unbelievable. Wait till you see number 10. While digging up their backyards, these people stumbled across some absolutely amazing treasures and valuables. Some of them have even rewritten the history books, which is pretty astonishing. Take a look at some of the priceless artifacts these people stumbled across in their own backyards. When an Australian man decided to expand his pool, he had no idea what he'd be holding very shortly. He found a treasure estimated to be about 650 years old. It included over 200 rings, brooches, and belt buckles, along with other fossilized items. Now, this might be a little scary. A developer in Florida was building new houses over a bombing range. This seems like a terrible decision. And it was. People are still finding bombs in their backyards. A couple was walking their dog through their property that consisted of parts of what was once called gold country. They noticed a rusting bucket sticking out of the ground and found gold valued at around $10 million. Finding bodies while digging a hole for a swimming pool is not what most people would want, but it is exactly what happened to this guy. He found human remains inside 13 separate caskets dating back to the 1700s. An amateur historian was exploring his property in the UK when he came across a burial plot estimated to date back to 2500 BC. In Normandy, France, 3 builders stole a treasure valued at around 900,000 euros while working on a property. While completing a landscaping project in 2014, a man was taken aback by what looked like human bones. After careful examination by a professional, it was determined the bones belonged to a Native American. Oh, and they were 1,000 years old. A cannonball was found by a man who was digging a hole for a new fish pond. He found out that the cannonball was actually used in the Battle of New Orleans all the way back in 1812. While picking vegetables from his garden in Illinois, a man noticed a nylon sack sticking out from the ground. He pulled it out and discovered it contained $150,000. While laying some new pipe in his back garden in the Czech Republic, a man noticed some metal sticking out of the ground. Upon further investigation, it was 2 400-year-old church bells that had been stolen from nearby churches. These false teeth were found in a very old vegetable plot in Buffalo, New York. Just last February in Israel, diggers came across the largest collection of medieval coins ever found. There were around 2,000 coins in all, ranging from the 10th century to the 11th century. A Canadian man was clearing out the space in between his garage and his fence line in early 2014 when he made a pretty amazing discovery. He saw a pillowcase that clearly had something in it. He investigated it and found a fully loaded machine gun and a mobile phone. Someone was definitely a prepper. While renovating his garden, a man in the U.S. came across a 1940s cash register. There were also several car batteries buried nearby, which would have been used to power the cash register during the war. A boy in the late 1970s saw something sticking out of the ground. Everyone brushed it off as if it was nothing. Scientists 30 years later, however, identified it as the skull and jawbones of a 16-million-year-old baleen whale. I'd be pissed off if I was that kid. Someone found an army service ring, though its owners were never found. I have one similar and would be extremely sad if it ever went missing. Andrew and Eric built a dam in the creek that flows behind their home in Detroit, Michigan. One of them caught sight of a bone and thought it might be human, so he called the police. Fortunately, it wasn't human. It was actually the vertebrae of a 13,000-year-old mastodon. This gun was found in an explorer's backyard. Ken Salve found these bones while digging fence posts. He originally thought they were animal bones and didn't see any reason to think otherwise. His wife pressed the issue, though, so they dug them up. They turned out to be human bones from the 1600s. About a mile from Stonehenge, a mile under the ground, researchers discovered one of Europe's largest prehistoric monuments. The stones are 15 feet tall and are believed to have been used in religious rituals. An extremely rare 1902 dollar was found by a woman in her backyard. While renovating his pond, a man in Hyde Park, New York, noticed a strange thing sticking out of the ground. He had it examined by an expert who determined it was a fossil. An excavation was started that yielded over 90 mastodon bones. This is the stuff people dream about, making an amazing discovery right behind their house. Reading stories like these always make me want to grab a shovel and start digging right then and there. It would be a really incredible experience to find something like this.